Hi, this is Tanya from EduTV. Today we have with us Ms. Lalita Suresh, who is the principal of GEMS, My Own Indian School, Dubai, UAE. Welcome to the show, ma'am, and thank you for giving us your time. Ma'am, my first question from you is, what, according to you, is the right way of survival and revival in education, considering the current COVID outbreak?
The teachers were actually put into the deep sea. We were thrown into the deep sea. And I still remember the day we had started the year normally for us. The final exams were going on for the lower classes. The senior classes had finished their end of year exams, and we normally do bridge classes. And we had already done 3 or 4 days of bridge classes, and suddenly the government declared that it's going to be a close down and schools have to run online. But luckily for us, in my school, we had tried this remote learning a couple of years ago when some children had to go to India for their sister's marriage or some relatives' functions or something. And so we said, why should these grade 12 children lose out classes for family functions? And therefore, we had tried GoToMeeting and tried to connect the classroom with the child, and the child started attending. So it was something that we had tinkered on. I wouldn't say it was 100% successful, but we had tinkered on. And therefore, when the pandemic, the lockdown was released, we had the Teams platform already with us, and we immediately had to train our teachers. And within a day, just within a day, they survived. But then, it is like navigating the disruption. How do you navigate? The disruption is there. How do you navigate it? And therefore, we had to move through that unsettled zone where the first thing was, do you have the platform ready? Because when you're dealing with children, their safety and security of the children is of utmost importance. So you can't use free resources from the web and say, let me conduct classes through a Zoom link. Because if anybody else has access to that code, they can enter it. And you're compromising on the safety and security of the children. And therefore, every school needs to think of investing in the right platform. Forget the teaching, that will all come later. But the first thing is to get the platform right. Once you get the platform right, the next step for us to think was, okay, what can be taught online and what cannot be taught online? And at that time, we were still thinking that the schools will reopen within a couple of weeks. That was our mentality. So what is it that we are going to do for the first weeks? So we had to change our annual program of work. So this is an easier chapter, probably can be done online. This is a more content-based, heavy chapter. Maybe we will do it later. So those kind of changes began to take place. So that's where the curriculum modifications came in. And then the teachers started, initially we had, the teachers used to be one-way talk, and we didn't know whether the children were participating or not participating. So those were all the unsettled zone, I would say, which we moved on to the learning zone. The unsettled zone gave rise to the learning zone. And in the learning zone, the teachers began to discover new strategies, new methodologies, new resources. They began to research. Children began to tell the teachers. That was a beautiful phase, I would say, where the children and the teachers were learning simultaneously beside each other, helping each other. And that sort of established the online platform. I think currently we have reached the growth zone, where at least in my school, I have 99% parental satisfaction. 99% of my parents say that you're doing a great job. Thank you for doing this. And we are reaching the growth zone where we are trying to optimize the learning of the children. And in fact, some of my parents have actually said the online learning is far better than face-to-face learning.